The Facade of Peace. The Grand Assembly Hall of the Galactic Confederation shimmered under crystalline lights, its vaulted ceilings adorned with holographic representations of the 57-member species' homeworlds. Commander Elena Reyes stood at the human delegation's platform, her simple navy diplomatic uniform a stark contrast to the ornate regalia worn by most other representatives. Her dark hair was pulled back in a practical knot, and her posture, relaxed yet alert, reflected 20 years of military service before her current role as Earth's chief diplomatic liaison. "Another successful cultural exchange," remarked Ambassador Liu, approaching with 2 glasses of iridescent liquid. "The Confederation seems particularly impressed with our latest musical compositions." Reyes accepted the drink with a nod. "Humans have always excelled at arts. It's our saving grace after the unification wars." Across the hall, a group of Vrikari delegates observed the humans with undisguised contempt. The Vrikari were imposing figures, standing nearly 7 feet tall with dense musculature beneath their slate-gray exoskeletons. Ridged cranial crests and amber eyes that never seemed to blink gave them a perpetually aggressive appearance that matched their reputation as the galaxy's foremost warrior culture. High General Grathak, leader of the Vrikari contingent, leaned toward his second-in-command. "Look at them," he rumbled, mandibles clicking softly. "Once they were worthy adversaries. Now they create music and paintings while their warships rust in museums." "Perhaps they have evolved beyond conflict," suggested Science Director Vazek, the only female in their delegation. Grathak made a dismissive gesture with his serrated foreclaw. "No species evolves beyond conflict. They merely grow weak and forget how to fight. Humans have done this faster than most. Barely a century since they fought the Meridian Collective to a standstill, and now they send artists as ambassadors. Their military reduction is well documented," agreed his second-in-command. 90% of their combat vessels decommissioned or converted. Combat training replaced by peace studies in their education systems. They've made themselves vulnerable. Vazek's crystalline eyes narrowed. "Do not underestimate adaptation. It can mask many things." Grathak dismissed her concerns with another click of his mandibles. "The Dominion Council has made its decision. The operation proceeds as planned." On the other side of the hall, Commander Reyes noticed the Vrikari delegation's focus on her team. Though her face remained pleasantly neutral, her eyes hardened slightly. She touched the neural implant behind her ear, standard for human diplomats but believed by most non-humans to be merely a translation device. "Send priority message to Arclight," she subvocalized. "Increased Vrikari interest in human delegation. Request enhanced monitoring of their communications and fleet movements." A soft chime in her inner ear confirmed transmission. Ambassador Liu sipped his drink, apparently oblivious to the exchange. "The Artesian delegation has invited us to their sunrise ceremony tomorrow. They were particularly impressed by Dr. Chen's quantum harmonic compositions." "We'll attend," Reyes replied, maintaining the conversation while her mind processed multiple scenarios. The Vrikari had been increasingly present at human cultural events over the past year, unusual for a species that openly disdained what they considered soft pursuits. As the evening progressed, Reyes made her way through the crowd with practiced ease, exchanging pleasantries with various delegates while collecting micro-expressions and conversational nuances that most would miss. Her diplomatic role was genuine, but it wasn't her only function. The Confederation's central tower housed most delegates during assemblies, and Reyes returned to her quarters shortly before midnight. Once inside, she activated the suite's privacy field, ostensibly to shield sensitive cultural artifacts from scanning, but actually the military-grade signal blocker. "Arclight, secure connection," she spoke to the empty room. The air shimmered as a holographic display materialized. Admiral Marcus Chen's weathered face appeared, his expression grim. "Your instincts were right, Commander. We've detected unusual movements in the Vrikari fleet. 3 battle groups have departed their home systems in the past 30 hours. Destination: unknown, but they're moving along vectors that could intercept several of our outer colonies. Reyes felt a chill. The Vrakari believe we've forgotten how to fight. Their delegation barely disguises their contempt. Let them believe it, Chen replied. Slumbering thunder remains in place. All sleeper units are operational. Status of the outposts near the Vrakari approach vectors. Fully prepared, though maintaining civilian appearance. Prometheus Protocol is in effect. Chen paused. There's more. Our intelligence suggests the Vrakari have formed an alliance with the Corvin hegemony. Reyes inhaled sharply. The Corvin, a species known for advanced weapons technology, but limited numbers, would complement the Vrakari's massive fleet perfectly. They're testing us, she concluded, probing for weaknesses, or preparing for something larger. Either way, maintain your cover. The Confederation Council still believes our pacifist stance is genuine. After the communication ended, Reyes stood at her window, watching the distant lights of spacecraft moving through the station's massive docking rings. A century ago, humanity had emerged from its own devastating wars with a genuine desire for peace. But the lessons of history weren't forgotten. They were merely internalized. The public narrative of humanity abandoning its martial past for artistic and scientific pursuits was carefully crafted. Behind that facade lay contingency plans, hidden capabilities, and a vigilance that never truly slept. Weapons became art installations that could transform back at a moment's notice. Scientific vessels carried hidden armaments, and diplomats like Alina Reyes had combat training that rivaled special forces. 3 days later, while attending a Confederation symposium on interspecies art, Reyes received an urgent signal through her neural implant. Priority Alpha. Vrakari Battle Group has entered the Arcturus system. New Haven Colony reports contact lost with 2 outposts. She maintained her composed expression while efficiently excusing herself from the gathering. Within minutes, she had reached a secure communication node. Confirmed attack. She asked the moment Admiral Chen's image appeared. Multiple strikes. The Vrakari aren't being subtle. They disabled the communications arrays at the outposts before moving on the main settlement. Casualties. Minimal so far. Early warning systems functioned as designed, and most colonists reached the shelters before strikes began. Chen's expression was stone. The Vrakari commander is broadcasting demands for unconditional surrender, citing humanity's inability to defend itself as reason to submit to their protection. The Confederation. The Vrakari representative claims these are defensive exercises in response to human aggression. They've presented doctored evidence to the Council. Reyes's jaw tightened. They're testing more than our defenses. They're testing our resolve and the Confederation's commitment to mutual protection. The Council has called an emergency session. You'll need to attend while we implement Phase 1 response. Understood. Authorization code. Thermopyla. Chen's eyes reflected grim determination. Remember Leonidas, Commander. The emergency council session was chaotic. The Vrakari delegation had presented footage purporting to show human research vessels with hidden weapons firing on their patrol ships. Several species were calling for an immediate investigation before any action was taken. High General Grathak addressed the assembly, his voice echoing through the chamber. The human pretense of peace has been exposed. Their vessels, disguised as research ships, attacked our patrols. We demand the immediate surrender of all human colonies in the disputed regions. Commander Reyes stepped forward. The Vrakari accusations are false. It is their fleet that has invaded sovereign human space and attacked civilian outposts. Where is your evidence? Demanded Grathak. Where is your vaunted fleet to protect your people? You have embraced peace so thoroughly that you cannot even defend yourselves. A murmur ran through the assembly. Many species had indeed watched humanity dismantle much of its visible military infrastructure over the past century. The Confederation must investigate these claims thoroughly before taking action, declared the Arcadian representative, a sentiment echoed by several others. Reyes addressed the council with calm dignity. While the Confederation deliberates, humans are dying. We request immediate humanitarian access to our colony at New Haven. Such access will be granted once the colony accepts Vrikari protection, Galactic responded smugly. Back on Earth, in a facility deep beneath the Antarctic ice shelf, General Sofia Rodriguez received confirmation of the slumbering Thunder activation code. For 50 years, she had overseen the program that remained humanity's best-kept secret. All units, initiate Phase 1 response, she ordered. Silent deployment only. No visible signatures until engagement is authorized. Across the solar system and beyond, hidden installations began to awaken. Orbital platforms disguised as scientific arrays reconfigured weapon systems. Civilian vessels activated concealed military capabilities. And deep within asteroid fields and nebular clouds, stealth vessels that officially didn't exist powered up engines and weapons. In the New Haven system, Captain Tariq Hassan commanded what appeared to be a scientific research vessel, the ESS Discovery. When the Vrikari cruisers entered the system, his ship had been conducting legitimate geological surveys of the system's asteroid belt. "They've targeted the colony's defense grid," reported his tactical officer as they monitored the attack from hiding. 2 more cruisers approaching the main settlement. Hassan's expression remained calm. Status of colony shelters: sealed and secure. Civilian population at 97% protection levels. He nodded. "And our friends?" 3 Vrikari warships holding position near the colony. A 4th is conducting sweeps of the outer system, likely looking for ships like us. "Let them look," Hassan replied, as his vessel drifted silently within the dense asteroid field, its signature masked by specialized dampening technology. "Prepare all systems for transition. Weapons check on my mark." Throughout the ship, hidden compartments opened as crew members accessed combat gear and weapons that had remained concealed beneath scientific equipment. The Discovery's outer hull began a subtle transformation as armored plates shifted into defensive configurations and weapon ports revealed themselves. What had appeared to be a vulnerable research vessel was becoming something else entirely, a wolf that had been hiding in sheep's clothing, waiting for the precise moment to reveal its teeth. In the Confederation Assembly Hall, Commander Reyes received new information through her neural implant. The Vrikari fleet had expanded its attack to 2 more human colonies. The evidence of unprovoked aggression was mounting. "The Vrikari claims grow less credible by the hour," she addressed the council. "They now attack multiple human settlements while claiming defensive action. Earth requests immediate Confederation intervention under Article 7 of the Charter." Grathak's mandibles clicked in what humans had learned was their equivalent of laughter. "By the time the Confederation mobilizes observers, the matter will be settled. Humans have forgotten the ways of war, while the Vrikari have not. Your colonies will be under our protection by day's end." Reyes met his gaze directly. "There is an old human saying, General, appearances can be deceiving." As if on cue, her neural implant delivered a simple message: Phase 2 authorized. She allowed herself the smallest of smiles. The Vrikari are about to learn a crucial lesson about humanity. In space above New Haven Colony, the Vrikari warships continued their bombardment of key infrastructure, confident in their overwhelming superiority. Their sensors detected no military response, reinforcing their belief in humanity's defenselessness. "The humans disappoint me," commented the Vrikari commander to his bridge crew. "Our intelligence suggested they were once warriors of note, yet they hide in their shelters while we claim their world." His tactical officer suddenly straightened. "Commander, multiple energy signatures activating throughout the system. Source: everywhere. The research satellites, the communication arrays, even some of the civilian structures on the surface." The commander barely had time to process this information before his vessel shuddered violently under precision weapons fire. On his view screen, what had appeared to be a harmless research vessel was now revealing concealed weapon systems, its hull reconfiguring into battle formation. And it wasn't alone. Across the New Haven system, humanity's carefully constructed facade began to fall away, revealing the steel beneath, The war had begun, and the Vrikari were about to discover just how much they had underestimated their opponent. The storm unleashed. Captain Hassan watched with grim satisfaction as his vessel, the ESS Discovery, shed its peaceful disguise. Throughout the ship, hidden weapon systems hummed to life, powering up with a efficiency that belied their years of dormancy. What had moments ago appeared to be a vulnerable research vessel now bristled with advanced weaponry. "Target their propulsion systems," Hassan ordered calmly. "Disable, don't destroy." The Discovery's first salvo struck the nearest Vrikari cruiser with surgical precision. The enemy vessel's engines sputtered and died as specialized EMP charges disrupted their power distribution systems. The Vrikari commander's shocked face appeared on the communication screen. "What trickery is this? You are a research vessel." Hassan adjusted his uniform collar, revealing military insignia that had remained hidden before. "Captain Tariq Hassan, Earth Defense Force. Your vessels have violated sovereign human space and attacked a civilian colony. Power down your weapons and prepare to be boarded." The Vrikari commander's mandibles clicked furiously. "Earth has no defense force. Your military was dismantled decades ago." "A common misconception," Hassan replied with a thin smile. "One we've worked hard to maintain." Throughout the New Haven system, similar transformations were occurring. Orbital platforms that had appeared to be simple communication relays or scientific instruments reconfigured into defense stations. Civilian structures on the planet's surface opened to reveal anti-orbital weapon emplacements. What the Vrikari had believed to be an undefended colony was rapidly becoming a fortress. In the asteroid belt, 5 more ships like the Discovery emerged from hiding, their stealth systems deactivating as they moved into attack formations. These were the Ghosts, vessels officially decommissioned or lost in training accidents years ago, now revealing themselves at humanity's moment of need. On the Confederation station, Commander Raves stood before the Emergency Council, her demeanor transformed. Gone was the conciliatory diplomat. In her place stood a military officer with steel in her spine. "For a century, humanity has genuinely pursued peace," she addressed the assembled delegates. "But we never forgot the lessons of our history. Peace through strength, vigilance during tranquility. The Vrikari mistook our desire for coexistence as weakness, a fatal error." The main display showed real-time footage from New Haven, where human defensive systems were systematically neutralizing the Vrikari attack force. What had begun as an invasion was rapidly becoming a rout. High General Grathak's composure had cracked. "This is deception. Humans have hidden military capabilities from the Confederation. The Confederation Charter guarantees all species the right to self-defense." Reyes countered smoothly. "It does not require us to publicly display all defensive measures. The Vrikari attacked sovereign human territories without provocation. We are responding appropriately." In the Antarctic Command Center, General Rodriguez monitored the situation with intense focus. Phase 2 of Slumbering Thunder was proceeding efficiently, with defensive systems at the 3 attacked colonies successfully repelling the Vrikari forces. But intelligence indicated this was merely the first wave. "Status of the Aegis fleet," she asked her second-in-command. "Ready for deployment on your order, General. All 7 battle groups are at full combat readiness." Rodriguez nodded. For 50 years, humanity's true military capabilities had remained hidden from the galaxy. The public narrative of decommissioning and conversion was partially true. Many older vessels had indeed been retired, but they had been replaced by fewer, more advanced ships, developed in secret and kept hidden in specialized facilities throughout human-controlled space. "The Vrikari will regroup," she noted. "Their main fleet elements are still within their territory. Once they realize their initial attack has failed, they'll commit more forces." And the Corvin Alliance? Still a wild card. Intelligence suggests they've provided weapons technology, but are waiting to see how the initial assault proceeds before committing their own ships. Rodriguez straightened her uniform. "Deploy the 2nd and 4th battle groups to reinforce the colonies. Keep the 1st and 3rd in reserve near Earth. The rest should maintain their concealed positions until needed. On the Vrakari homeworld, the Dominion Council received reports of the failed attacks with stunned disbelief. "Impossible," roared Council Elder Thrak. "Our intelligence confirmed the humans had no significant defensive capabilities." Strategic Minister Vorth's facial ridges pulsed with agitation. "The humans deceived us, and apparently the entire Confederation. Our advance forces report that what appeared to be research vessels and civilian installations have revealed military-grade weapons and defenses. How many casualties? 7 cruisers disabled or destroyed. 2,000 warriors captured or killed." The council chamber erupted in angry clicks and hisses. The Vrakari prided themselves on martial prowess. Defeat was shameful, but defeat through deception was unbearable. "Deploy the main battle fleet," ordered Thrak. "Crush these deceivers with overwhelming force. Contact the Corvin." It is time they honored their commitment to our alliance. Back at New Haven Colony, Captain Hassan supervised the boarding and securing of the disabled Vrakari vessels. The enemy warriors had fought fiercely, but were overwhelmed by the precision and coordination of the human forces. Troops who supposedly didn't exist according to official records. "Captain," his communications officer called. Priority message from Admiral Chen. Chen's holographic image appeared on the bridge. "Well done, Captain. Initial attacks repelled at all 3 colonies with minimal civilian casualties." "Thank you, Admiral. What's our next move?" "Intelligence indicates the Vrakari are mobilizing their main fleet." This was just their opening move. Chen's expression was grave. "Your orders are to secure New Haven system completely, then prepare for the arrival of the second battle group." Hassan raised an eyebrow. "They're deploying Aegis. The time for hiding is over, Captain. The Vrakari need to understand exactly what they've provoked." As if to emphasize the point, space folded briefly at the system's edge as 3 massive vessels emerged from faster-than-light travel. Each bore the distinctive profile of humanity's advanced destroyers, ships that officially didn't exist in any Confederation registry. Commander Reyes continued her address to the Confederation Council. "In light of the unprovoked Vrakari aggression, Earth is formally invoking Article 9 of the Confederation Charter, recognizing our right to full military response against forces attacking our sovereign territories." "This is outrageous," Grath Ak protested. "The humans have maintained hidden military capabilities while pretending to embrace peace." The Arcadian representative, a being of crystalline composition, spoke with musical tones. "The Charter does not forbid defensive preparations, High General. It forbids unprovoked aggression, which your forces have clearly committed." The mood in the chamber had shifted. Many species that had admired humanity's apparent evolution beyond warfare now regarded them with a mixture of surprise and newfound respect. Others, particularly those with militaristic tendencies like the Vrakari, showed signs of apprehension. "We request Confederation observers be dispatched to the affected systems immediately," Rice continued, "to verify our claims of unprovoked attack and proportionate response." The council chair, a Zelvan whose gaseous body swirled with thoughtful patterns, spoke after a moment of deliberation. "Granted, observers will depart within the hour. Until their report is received, both parties are ordered to cease further escalation." Grathak's amber eyes flickered to Reyes. "This changes nothing, human. You may have hidden teeth, but the Vrakari have claws that strike to the heart." "Then perhaps it's time your people learned another human saying," Reyes replied evenly. "Don't bring claws to a gunfight." The following days saw a tense standoff as the Vrakari main fleet mobilized at their borders. The Confederation observers confirmed humanity's account of unprovoked aggression, but diplomatic efforts to defuse the situation made little progress. The Vrakari cultural obsession with martial honor made backing down nearly impossible, while humanity could not ignore the threat posed by their massive fleet. In deep space near the border between human and Vrakari territories, Admiral Chen commanded the first battle group from the bridge of the EDF Invictus. Intelligence had confirmed that the Vrakari fleet, supplemented by Corvin technology, was preparing for a massive push into human space. "They'll target Earth directly," Chen explained to his assembled captains during a secure briefing. "The Vrakari believe that capturing our homeworld will force our colonies to surrender. It's consistent with their historical tactics. Their fleet outnumbers ours 3-1, noted Captain Lin of the destroyer Thunderchild. "Invisible ships, yes," Chen agreed. "But numbers aren't everything. Deploy the Athena Protocol." Throughout human space, the final veils fell away. Asteroid mining stations revealed themselves as heavily armed fortresses. Civilian transport hubs transformed into fleet coordination centers. And most significantly, the Jupiter orbital art installation, long celebrated as humanity's greatest artistic achievement, began to change. The massive structure, spanning nearly a kilometer and composed of interconnected rings that had for decades performed an elaborate zero-gravity dance around Jupiter, stopped its mesmerizing rotation. The rings separated, each revealing itself as a fully armed warship that had hidden in plain sight as an artistic wonder. General Rodriguez contacted Earth's leadership from her command center. "The Jupiter defensive fleet is operational. 27 capital ships ready for deployment." Earth's President Spencer, who had until recently been known primarily as a patron of the arts with a background in quantum physics, revealed her other expertise as she issued strategic directives with the precision of a seasoned military commander. "Deploy to these coordinates," she ordered, transmitting navigation data. "The Vrakari expect us to concentrate our forces around Earth. Let's show them we understand flanking maneuvers." When the Vrakari fleet finally struck, they found human defenses surprisingly thin around Earth itself. Interpreting this as confirmation of humanity's limited military capabilities, despite the initial setbacks, they pressed their advantage, driving deep into the solar system. "The humans retreat before our advance," reported the Vrakari fleet commander to his superiors. "Their homeworld will be ours within days." On the Invictus, Admiral Chen watched the enemy fleet's movements with a predator's patience. "They've committed their reserves," he noted. "Signal all battle groups. Execution of Operation Hammer and Anvil is authorized." What followed was a masterclass in strategic deception. As the Vrakari fleet pushed toward Earth, they suddenly found themselves caught between multiple human battle groups attacking from unexpected vectors. The Jupiter defensive fleet closed from behind, cutting off their retreat, while stealth vessels emerged from hiding to target their command ships. The Vrakari fought with characteristic ferocity, but they were outmaneuvered at every turn. Human vessels displayed weapons technology that rivaled or exceeded the Corvin-enhanced systems of their enemies. More devastating still was the precision of human tactics, each move anticipated, each weakness exploited. In the Confederation Assembly Hall, delegates watched in stunned silence as tactical displays showed the rapid disintegration of the Vrakari offensive. Species that had dismissed humans as artistic pacifists now witnessed military coordination and technological prowess that ranked among the most advanced in the galaxy. Commander Reyes stood beside the Arcadian representative as they observed the battle unfold. "Humanity never abandoned its strength," she explained quietly. "We simply learned to carry it differently. The artists and scientists we celebrate genuinely advance our culture, but they also design our defense systems. The museums that house our decommissioned warships also contain laboratories where we develop new ones. Your species is unexpected, the crystalline being observed. We genuinely desire peace," Reyes affirmed. "But we remember our history too well to believe it can be maintained without vigilance." The decisive moment came when the human forces executed a synchronized strike against the Vrakari flagship. Multiple stealth destroyers decloaked simultaneously, their advanced weapon systems bypassing the vessel's shields through frequencies the Corvin technology couldn't counter. On the bridge of his crippled flagship, Supreme Commander Vrax received a communication from Admiral Chen. "Your fleet is surrounded, your flagship disabled, and your homeworld now within range of our reserve forces," Chen stated calmly. "The Vrakari have fought with courage, but this battle is over. Surrender your forces and the Confederation, will ensure fair treatment under interstellar law. Vrax's facial ridges darkened with rage and shame. How? How did a species that creates art and music develop such warfare capabilities? You misunderstand humans fundamentally, Chen replied. We create art and music because we've seen too much war in our history. Our desire for peace is genuine, but so is our determination to defend it. After the Vrakkari surrender, representatives from both species met aboard the Confederation station under Council supervision. The peace terms were firm but not punitive. Vrakkari forces would withdraw from all human territories, the alliance with the Corvin would be dissolved, and Confederation observers would maintain a presence in border regions. In a private moment before the formal signing, High General Grathak approached Commander Reyes. Your deception was impressive, he admitted grudgingly. The Vrakkari misjudged humans greatly. It wasn't deception, Reyes corrected. Everything we showed the galaxy about our artistic and scientific achievements was genuine. Our error was assuming other species would understand that strength and creativity aren't mutually exclusive. Grathak's amber eyes studied her. The Vrakkari will not forget this lesson. Good, Reyes replied. Neither will humanity. Perhaps next time, we can meet as respectful equals rather than as enemies. 1 month later, Elena Reyes, now openly acknowledging her rank as commander in Earth's defensive forces, stood in the Grand Assembly Hall once more. The atmosphere had changed subtly. Species that had previously dismissed humans now sought their counsel on security matters, while others studied them with new appreciation for their complexity. Admiral Chen joined her, watching as various delegates mingled. The slumbering Thunder Protocol has served its purpose, he noted. The question now is whether to maintain the facade. Reyes shook her head. No more facades. Humanity's strength and creativity are both genuine parts of who we are. Let the galaxy see us completely, artists and warriors, scientists and strategists.